The women of Birmingham and the rest of Britain only won the right to vote through a long and difficult campaign for social equality. These women were called the Suffragettes and were determined to get women's right to vote. In 1867, the National Society for Women's Suffrage was formed to promote women's rights through constitutional and peaceful tactics. Later, this organisation would become called the National Union of Women's Suffrage Societies, or NUWSS. The leader of the suffragettes was called Emmeline Pankhurst. Some of the things they did to get noticed were setting fire to buildings and damaging things that were of value to society.
I think they've done well to get right for women to vote, because they'd risk their lives basically. Like, they could have got arrested, they could have killed themselves just to get women to vote.
One of the suffragettes that went into that building down there and locked herself away.
And wrote on the windowsill
how hungry she was and how she wanted some water.
It's pretty amazing history.
I'm glad that the suffragettes did what they did, because otherwise we wouldn't be voting at 18.
This special news report will emphasise how equality has changed over the last century and how women gained the right to vote.
Hello and welcome to Birmingham News. I am stood outside Northfield Library, which was one of the places the suffragettes burnt down. On February 12, 1914, the newly built library was destroyed by the suffragettes wanting attention, so they could have the right to vote. 1,500 books were destroyed, and the damage was estimated between £1,000 to £2,000, which was a lot of money then, and still is now.
We, the suffragettes, needed the publicity to make people listen to us. We have been campaigning for about 40 years, but still no one would listen to us, so we had to take some further action. It was important that we had the right to vote like everyone else, so we had a meeting and decided to burn down Northfield Library. We knew it was the wrong thing to do, but if it got people's attention, then that's what would happen.
As you can see, I am standing outside King Norton railway station, which suffered militant action from the suffragettes in 1914. A number of railway carriages were burnt as a way of getting their voices heard. The fire was so bad that the blaze could be seen 2 miles away. It was just before 11 o'clock when the outbreak started. On the line near the place where the fire broke out, a copy of the Suffragettes was found.
We came to the railway station to get our voices heard. We believe that we should have the same rights as men. We've tried the peaceful protest. It's time for the suffragettes to be noticed. We were also protesting against the bad treatment women are going through in prison. They're being force-fed and badly treated. We want everybody to support us with the vote.
Dear Diary, being in the 2nd Division and treated as a common criminal for what I'd done, protest against the Prime Minister Asquith giving a speech, has been a terrible and agonising experience. As us suffragettes starting to go on hunger strike to protest for the women's right to vote, but it didn't last for long. Winton Green Prison was the first to start force feeding. Unfortunately, I was one of the first to have this happen to me. It was a painful and scary experience. I was wrapped in blankets with my hands tied down and forced to take food. They shoved a thick grey tube about 2 feet long down my nose nostrils. I felt it wriggle down my neck and into my belly. There was a funnel at the end of the tube where a mushy substance was placed down it. As it went on, we did try to protest to stop force feeding. I hated being put in this situation, but women really needed the right to vote, and I was willing to do almost everything to make it happen.
I fought for the women's right to vote.
We have now seen a change over the last century. With help from the suffragettes, we have now gained women's right to vote. Women will soon be entering polling stations to vote for the candidate of their choice with confidence. Would this be a reality without the suffragettes?
It's changed a lot, but there's still some things you can always improve on, like higher pay for women, or maybe they just need to be treated as equals for a change.
They should lower the age to vote so younger children could get their say as in the parliament. Before today I didn't know what the parliament was, so most people would know what they're voting for and pick the wrong one.
Their actions have made a dramatic impact in society even up to this day.